I have a statement I have to read. Unfortunately, it's about 1,200 words long, according to Microsoft. In 3.5 years, I've seen a lot of stuff go on in this county. I've seen every council member up here be accused of one thing or another, violation of the charter, violation of the Open Meeting Act, violation of breathing, you name it. I like to go through my day-to-day existence with as little drama and controversy as possible. Unfortunately, the past 3.5 years, that has not always been possible. I do not engage in conversations on social media because those discussions typically contain more opinions than facts. My following presentation has 3 parts: the overview, my statement, and what's next. For the overview, you might or might not know of a recent effort called No Queens Wicomico. This appears to share some of the less than professional activities and behavior of our county executive and has drawn some controversy regarding who is behind it and the signs that are in various locations around town. Mrs. Hurley, can you put up the first slide, please? That's a picture of one of the signs. There have been many allegations on who is running this effort. All are unfounded. I'd like to read an excerpt from the No Queens Wicomico press release on July 15th, in which they try to clarify their role. Quote, No Queens Wicomico is a locally based coalition of Republicans, Democrats, and Independents who have put aside their political differences because of a shared concern about the leadership and direction of Wicomico County. No Queens Wicomico is not funded by, directed by, or formally affiliated with any candidate, campaign, political party, or county official. No candidate or campaign controls our content or directs our activities. End quote. Despite this statement, I've been accused, along with the business that I formerly owned with my wife, with being part of this effort and printing these signs at no cost. I wish those involved in these false and defamatory allegations had simply picked up the phone and called me, and I would have been happy to answer their questions and any concerns they might have. They would have saved everyone from hearing the statement that I am about to read. I have been advised by close friends, business colleagues, and legal counsel that due to the disparaging nature of such false accusations, a public statement on my part is not only justified, but necessary. My statement is as follows. First and foremost, I have no part in the No Queens movement. Full stop. I have not provided any funding, nor been asked to print any signs, or any materials, nor have I printed any on my own, and I have actually never had my hands on a No Queen sign, something I understand the county executive cannot claim. To be clear, the same goes for the business that I formerly owned. Never involved. As far as my former business being accused of being part of this effort, we sold the business back in March. So those making these accusations, who include the county executive in a recent interview, and I have the tape, a deputy with the sheriff's office who operates on social media using a fake profile, and I have the screenshots, and another person who is in the close orbit around the county executive should get their facts straight. Mrs. Hurley, can you put up the second slide, please? I like visual things. This is a post which might or might not have been removed by now due to its false and defamatory nature. I'm the past chairman of the board of the Salisbury Area Chamber of Commerce that currently has 700 members, and I currently serve on both their board of directors and executive board as an ex officio member. The fact that these false and unfounded accusations have been levied against one of their chamber members is unconscionable. Our former business, a new business owner, 5 months in. I brought this to the attention of the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce as a heads up that an innocent business could fall victim to this type of situation simply because their thinking does not align with the executive. This does not sit well with the business community. For an administration that claims to be business friendly, this type of behavior sends a completely different message. I've also shared this information with the new owner of our business, who is undoubtedly and justifiably concerned. I've also shared this information with many of my colleagues in the business community as a heads up as to what can happen if you don't toe the line. As an aside, our former business was a member of the Chamber of Commerce for the entire 16 years we had it. In those 16 years, we donated hundreds of thousands of dollars of goods and services back out into the community in an effort to be a partner to the many good things happening in our area and to be a positive influence in the community in which we served. So that's my statement. Now for what's next. How can this unfortunate situation be fixed? We have just over 3 months left in our terms, and we've reached a fork in the road. Option number one is for all this divisive rhetoric to stop immediately. That's easy. We just stop. And we could all get down to the business of running the county properly and dealing with the problems that, as we saw tonight, we have. The other option is if this divisive rhetoric and false accusations and information continues. If that's the road we take, I will be at every council meeting from now until the end of November, and there are 7 meetings after tonight, with more pictures, screenshots, video clips with timestamps, copies of interviews, and additional information that will help the public get a clear understanding of what has gone on and is going on behind the scenes in some of the things that we have had to deal with in the past 3.5 years. All this is factual, with documentation, proven. No allegations, no broad statements with gray area. In addition, I will take whatever measures are necessary to bring the full weight of the legal system down on those spreading these false accusations on not only me, but others as well. Make no mistake about this. These false allegations were made by some people representing Wicomico County, which leaves the county in an unfortunate legal position that will likely involve taxpayer dollars for legal expenses. So to those involved that might be listening tonight, I urge you, choose carefully. I'm retired now. I have time on my hands. It is one thing for an elected official to make statements about another elected official, but when those statements are proven false, and that is an entirely different story. When innocent people and businesses are affected by the spread of false and defamatory information, a line is crossed and will not go unanswered. Please do not perceive this as an attack on the county executive, as that is not the intent. This is a response to what has been sent in my direction. I do not condone personal attacks on any elected official or anyone else for that matter, especially by people in positions of leadership, as they are held to a higher standard and they are supposed to be setting an example. When faced with such circumstances as this, it is imperative to respond. This is a response to the reckless and unprofessional behavior that we have seen for the last 3.5 years. While I respect the right to free speech, we need to understand that we are not free from the consequences of that speech. If anyone would like more information on anything that I've spoken about tonight, please feel free to contact me by phone or email. As I said, I do not have conversations on social media. I never have, and I never will. I will be happy to provide any information that you want. The only disclaimer is, if that information is in the county email or phone system, you will have to submit a PIA request and go through the proper channels. But otherwise, I have a book, a diary, if you will, of everything since the day I started, since the day I was sworn in, because I've never done this before. And I thought it might be a good idea to keep track of what went on during my term. So, thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to share this statement.